Good morning and welcome to the fourth lesson of the Talk for Writing booklet. Today we are going to be learning about closer reading, and that means we're going to look at the text in more detail and look at what word choices the author has used to help us understand the characters. So to get us thinking about the text, the first thing we're going to do is warm up by retelling the story. So I want you to pause the video here and practice retelling the story as best you can. Just think about how much of the story can you remember today? Is it more or less than yesterday? And remember to use your story map to help you. Okay, hopefully you've just retold the story and you've managed to remember quite a lot of it. As we go on day by day, we should remember a little bit more of the story each day. So we're going to move on to the next task, which is just looking at 4 bits of information from you. So what you liked and what you disliked. Now when you give responses here, I don't just want I liked the word squally or I disliked Jack. You have to give reasons. So why did you like it? Think about that. It's not just saying, oh, I really liked it. Why did you really like it? Let's look at these deeper level responses to the questions. Once you completed I liked and I disliked, I want you to move on to the next page and think about what puzzled you. So what questions do you have? It might be, why did there have to be a consequence for the wish? Why couldn't there just be something good? Does it remind you of any other stories where someone has wished for something and there's been a consequence? So this is going to be your time now, once you pause this video, to fill in those speech bubbles, and it should only take roughly 5 to 10 minutes to do this. As soon as you've finished, press play on the video and we will continue with the learning. Excellent. I hope you've just reflected on that text at a deeper level and given some thoughtful responses. We're going to move on to the closer reader now, and we're going to think about what kind of personality do you think Jack has and how do these words help us understand what Jack was like. So as you can see in the text, some of the words have been highlighted. Now this helps create a picture of Jack. So the writer has used words like Jack stretched out on the tired couch with an amused smile, turning a page of his favourite novel. So if he's stretching out, he's got an amused smile, and he's reading his favourite novel, it makes it sound like Jack is very relaxed. It's telling us that he reads, and the fact he has a favourite novel means he maybe has read it more than once. And he appears to be happy and content because he has an amused smile. It's not saying a false smile, he's actually genuinely amused and he's feeling happy in this moment. So that's how these words have helped us create a picture of Jack. However, the author also uses words to help us understand what Sarah is like. So what words would you highlight that show us what Sarah is like? I'm going to give you a little chance to think about that. Okay, now the word I would highlight would be scowled, silently seething, scanned. Her opinion, pointless, idle, husband. Now what I want you to think about is how these words help us understand what Sarah is like. So what do these tell us about what Sarah is like? Okay, now you've just written that down. If I was to try and describe what Sarah was like, I'd say she isn't very relaxed. She is clearly unhappy. The fact that she scans the room, it almost makes her sound a bit robotic, like a camera scanning. The fact that in her opinion she has a pointless, idle husband, it shows that she does not agree with Jack just laying around and reading his books. She just doesn't seem happy. Now the final sentence, she deserved so much more than this. This tells us that Sarah truly is not happy with her situation. So now we're going to move on to the challenge. Ignore the writing to the left for a second and focus on the main extract. So what mood has been created in this opening and how has it been created? Outside, the evening was cold and wet. A squally wind howled, rattling the roof tiles and shaking the window frames of 13 Wager Road. Inside, shabby curtains were drawn. A humble fire crackled and a couple sat in silence. Jack stretched out on the tired couch with an amused smile, slowly turning the page of his favourite novel. Sarah scowled, silently seething. She scanned the room, noticing the worn-out furniture, peel and paint, and in her opinion, a pointless, idle husband. She deserved so much more than this. So the difference between the outside and the inside, I've put as the outside is very cold, it's wet and open to the elements. It isn't very comforting or relaxing, it sounds busy and tense. However, the inside feels warm and cozy. Jack is very relaxed, but there is actually also a bit of similarity for me, and that's Sarah's mood. Sarah's mood seems to be a reflection of the weather outside. She is not calm, she is on edge and not relaxed in the slightest. So I think the outside almost reflects Sarah's feelings in this story so far, and the inside reflects Jack's. He's just happy, not overly worried, doesn't matter about the material things such as posh curtains, really nicely decorated rooms. He's happy just being content in the moment. So that allowed us to think deeper about the text and really look at the author's word choices. And that brings us to the end of a shorter writing lesson and a shorter reading lesson. However, there is also attached a full reading comprehension for today, which your task is to complete that as well. That can be found on the school website. And again, it would be great to hear any feedback or to see some of your work again on Tapestry. Excellent. Thank you very much and have a good day.